Welcome back to another 300ZX build video. I have a few things planned for the day, such as installing a better taillight because this one is chipped and I guess this is overspray on here. Not cool. Installing an OEM fuel filter because I'm sure that's past due. And then we'll install these two interior trim pieces. And yes, this is wood. That is OEM to a 300ZX. And I'll show you what I mean by those two pieces. So I took Fran out the other day and she gets in the car. I didn't realize this because I don't really sit passenger too often in this car, but she goes to close the door and there's nothing to grab onto and the whole door panel rips off. So that's pretty jank. And then that wood panel goes right around here and it covers up all of these electronics and computers, which fold behind this little carpet flap. So that'll help really clean up the passenger area. I'm still looking for a glove box frame, but we'll figure that out eventually. In the last video, we left off with getting this rare JDM bumper. It's an original Bomex, which is so hard to find. And we also changed the oil for the first time on the Z, and as well as ordering a new third brake light. And if you missed this, it came broken, brand new in the box. So that's kind of unfortunate. I might still throw it on though, because it'll look better than this at least. I slid on the bolt with the extension on there already. So we drop in this handle, should be good to go. We can also slap on this door handle trim as well. It'll help hold this door card in place. Door test. It's so strange that there's no cup, I guess, that you'd put your hand in. I'm so used to having cars that you put your hand down in. Actually, kind of like this one, even though this is busted, where you pull it in like this, versus a whole handle to pull the door open and closed. Well, while we're in here, let's organize all these computers. It's so strange how this little piece of wood cleans it up so well. Much better. We also got Francie here doing her very own oil change. Check out her take on her YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel?
Life of Francie.
Oh, cute. And since I'm tired of looking at this third brake light, this is probably the biggest eyesore on this entire car. I'm actually going to replace this. I've never done this before, but luckily it's already half removed, so we don't have very much more to take off here. I think there's only one bolt here and one bolt here, and there's probably some clips in between. Alright, the bolts are out. Does this just slide out? No wonder why these break. This design is so poor. Oh, lost the trim piece. Hey, at least we're learning on a broken one instead of busting a brand new one. Oh, okay, so it slides in? That means this should slide out this way. Yep. Crusty trim. Very happy this is coming off. This side should just slide out then, right? Yeah, okay. Oh. Stud came off. Looks like that slides into here. Does the new one come with that? Nope. That means we're gonna need this. Slides in there. Oh, that landed pretty close. What are the chances of that? Although this has the stud that we're gonna need. It looks like the previous owner tried to glue the adhesive or the trim onto the actual trunk of the car. So I'm trying to find a non-abrasive way to remove it. Ideally, I'd like to use a wire wheel and just wipe it off, but that would take off the paint as well. So I'm using this round one card. Rest in peace. It was an arcade that closed down. Well, the card wasn't working, so I'm using a razor blade very carefully because I do not want to scratch this paint. Because if I do, as soon as water touches it, it will rust. Well, it's definitely not perfect, but it's certainly better. Now I'm going to clean up the inside of this trim because they're probably not going to see it for a while. Mint paint. Always love to see that. It looks like the third brake light is also responsible for holding in this trim piece. This has a ridge on it that will latch to the inside of the third brake light. That could probably be another potential cause of failure for these brake lights. You'd think they would mount this a little better. Look, this just presses on and it only overlaps the trunk lid about 2 to 3 millimeters. That's it. Looks like the new brake light does not come with any of the bulbs or sockets, and we only have one bulb and socket. So that's cool. This is such an interesting setup. The lights get their power and ground through these two metal ridges. You can actually see the pins right here. One side's power, one side's ground. It's 12 volts hanging out in the trunk. Fits in there so loose. All right, I guess this is ready to go. I'm gonna use 2 hands to put this on though. Before I put these clips in, we're gonna have Fran hit the brakes to see if the third brake light actually turns on. And it does not. Wait, do it again. Let go. Are you hitting it? Yeah, it doesn't work. Dang. All right, well thank you. So I'm trying to install nuts onto the back of this third brake light, and it didn't come with any, and I'm using the traditional style, which is used all over the car, but apparently it takes the smaller version, which is this little 8mm style, and the 8mm were used on the corners, but now I need 2 for the center. I don't have any here, so I think the tail lights actually use the 8mm, so we're gonna steal some of those. I only need 1 realistically, maybe 2. We'll see if we can get away with 1. I was either steal it from this car or steal it from my 240. But we're gonna take it off of this. There we go. Oh yeah, that's the one. Tightening this nut will help close up this gap here. All right, let's see how it looks. Okay, definitely looks better. It's not perfect, but that is a lot more manageable than 3 pieces. Wow, what a difference. I like that it's black. That one started to fade to blue. Still broken, but less broken. Does anyone want one of these pieces before I toss it out? All right, next, let's replace this fuel filter. Wait, what the heck? There's only 1 hood prop tab? Oh, we can't have that. If only there was a way to scan and 3D print another one of these hood props to sit on this side. Oh wait, you can. That brings us to today's video sponsor, Creality. Today we have one of Creality's resin 3D printers paired with a 3D scanner. This 3D scanner can either be used directly from your phone or on a laptop or computer. So let's see how this will turn out. Let's take off this old hood prop holder and I will put it on my turntable. Now I made this turntable out of a few items in my garage. I found an old 4-lug hub from my 240SX. I also found an old rotor, then a cardboard box that I got from the mail, and I spray painted it flat gray. That way the scan would not pick up any debris that may be on it. So I'm going to place this in the center here. Now there's a few settings that you can adjust depending on what you're scanning and trying to recreate. You can use this turntable method to scan it, or you can leave the object stationary and go around it with your phone. And if the scanner isn't for you, there are plenty of files online that you can download and print with your 3D printer. We got the hood prop holder scan cleaned up and it's ready to be exported out of the free Creality program. We're going to pour some UV resin into the machine and we'll check out the results shortly. All right, let's see how this turned out. So far so good. Now you gotta wear gloves when working with resin because it could be toxic. We'll take, oh! This 3D printer uses a UV light to harden the material, and I'm just taking off those additional supports right now. I'm gonna let this sit in the sun so it can harden even more in the natural UV light coming from the sun. I have to admit, this looks great. The quality is insanely good. Here's a quick comparison between the two. And these little dots came from those supports that were needed to make this model in the first place. Those can be sanded off. This turned out very crispy for doing absolutely zero cleanup. Let's see how it works on the car. Perfect. That's honestly so satisfying. Just think about the possibility with the combination of these two products. Unreal. What should I scan and 3D print next? Maybe I'll try and scan and 3D print this piece next. Apparently those are pretty common to break on these 300ZXs. Mine's cracked. And without this whole piece will fall out. Well, in my case, because the corners are cracked off. Because this plastic is so thin. You could also scan and scale parts for your RC drift car, if you're like me. Knew something was missing from this. And I also started to scan to try and get a copy of this Bomex front bumper for the 300ZX. The possibilities are endless with Creality. And if you want to step up your creativity, Creality is the company for you. I'll leave the link below so you guys can check out their products. Thanks again, Creality. Love your stuff. Now I'm going to make a scan of my 240. So it gives you a quick preview. This is what it's looking like. You hit start. 3, 2, 1. So now I can scan my to-do list and have it forever. Who knows, maybe someone can import this into a video game or something. Not only am I going to have a 3D model of my 240, but I'll also have the graphics on the side. I wish I had this tool sooner so I can scan the massive dent that the car had on the other side before I started repairing it. This is turning out so sick. So here's what we got for our mesh. Doesn't look too bad. I did mess up the scan kind of on the bottom of the skirt here, which isn't too big of a deal. So now we're going to hit next and see what it makes with the color mapping. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Dude, the detail is insane. Look at the dent. It's got the dent so crisp. Oh my gosh. I'm so hyped on this. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm hyped on it. Also, you can see down in the bottom left corner here, it says it used about 5,000 frames. 5,000 frames to make up this 3D model with the color mapping. So sick. Luckily the fuel filter is right on top, very accessible. Probably the most accessible thing on a 300ZX. Shove a towel in here. I already released the fuel pressure. You just do that by starting the car, running it, unplugging the fuel pump, and then letting the car die. Take out as much fuel pressure from the line as possible. The new one comes in a bag. Whoa, almost dropped it. Black on top. It's pretty cool. Made in Japan on the fuel filter. That's hot. Alright, let's see how much we get out. Oh. Got the old one out. Surprisingly, it held a lot of fuel. Way more than I was expecting. Put the new one on. With any repair to the fuel system, you always want to check and verify that there's no leaks. So, let's prime it up. Whoa. It always scares me when I bump the rear wiper. Okay. Alright, fuel pump should have been primed. No leaks. Okay, we'll start it just to verify. Alright, let's check again. Looks good. This keeps making me think it's wet because it's shiny on the base, but it's not actually leaking, so we're good. Fuel filter is changed. Now this is a maintenance item, so I'm gonna log this repair into my maintenance notes. I just use this app called Google Keep, and I've just put the date, the mileage, and what I did. It's a lot easier to keep track that way. There's no way I'm gonna store all that in here. Now that we're closing the hood, we can use our nice new hood prop holder. I guess I can finally throw in these floor mats. I'm not sure which goes to which side. So this is the passenger mat. Definitely needs a vacuum. Date night test. Close the door.
Yay.
And look, you have foot space. Although it doesn't look the prettiest, but it's better. It's
Definitely
better.
so much better.
When I was swapping the ECU on this car, I noticed all the computers down by the footwell, and there's one that said keyless entry, and that caught my attention. So I did some research, and apparently some of these 300ZXs came with keyless entry. I don't know if it was factory or an option, but mine had the box. So I ordered a key fob. This isn't the original, this isn't Nissan, but it's the same generation chip on the inside. And I was looking up the directions on how to link it, and honestly, it kind of looks like a joke. I was like, no way, but we're gonna try it out, and I'll walk you through it. Let's see if it actually works. Step 1, open the trunk. That's kind of weird. All right, trunk is open. Step 2, close and lock all doors. Close and lock. That one does power lock, surprisingly. 3, insert and remove the key from the ignition 6 times within 10 seconds. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Manually unlock and lock the driver's door once to enable. Manually unlock and lock. Okay. Belting mode. 5. Push lock button on new remote once. Okay. Well, it didn't work. I'm gonna try it again really quick now that I know the directions. Apparently there's a time interval in between them. I have very low faith in this. I just thought it'd be fun to try it out. But now I'm wondering if the trunk has to stay open the whole time, because it only says close and lock all doors, not the trunk. I thought the trunk counted as a door, but I'm gonna try it again with the trunk open this time. The trunk open, close and lock all doors, locked, insert remove 6 times, then 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Manually unlock and lock. Unlock, lock. Push lock button once. No. Oh! No way. I heard it lock with the button. Unlock. Lock. That's so cool. Now there is a trunk button on here. I'm very curious to see if that actually works. I don't know if there's a motor to unlock the trunk. Oh, we're locked in. Hold on. Man, we're fancy now. Let's try the trunk out. All right, so it's closed and latched. So the trunk button. No, I didn't think that would work. But hey, we got power locks now. So I'm trying to unlock it from outside the car and it's doing nothing. And I just remembered that when I put the new carpet in, there was this random gray wire that I left out. And I think that plugged into one of those computer boxes. So let's see if that was to the keyless entry box, because maybe this wire acts as a signal amplifier. I don't know, we'll see. No idea what that is. No idea what that is. Theft warning system. Keyless entry. See, look at that, open port. Let's plug this in here. Interesting connector, interesting plug. Never seen anything ever like this one. All right, let's try now. Oh, it worked now. I heard it. Dude, no way. Let's see if the trunk works then. What? What? So this does have a motor in it. I don't even know where it's at. Dude, that is so cool. I'm sorry for being overly hyped about this, but I've never had a key fob in my entire life. All of my cars are from the 90s. Now the horn stopped working recently, so I wonder if, you know, you double click the lock if it beeps. I'll have to figure out what's going on with the horn. It did work at one point, but not anymore. Oh, yep, locked. Ah. Oh my gosh, this thing is luxury. You guys are not gonna believe this. So you guys just saw me put this new busted third brake light on the car, and look what came in the mail. My other third brake light. The guy that sent the first one offered a refund or to send another. And I said, send another, but could you please package it better? It's funny because if you guys remember me opening the box that one came in, it was much bigger and insulated. So I have very little faith that this one's not gonna be busted. Oh my gosh, it's not broken. I think this one's good. Let's very carefully flip this thing over just to be sure. Okay. One piece. Oh my gosh. Whew. I think I'm just gonna leave this one off until I get the car painted, because I feel like if you take off a third brake light, it's gonna break no matter what. It's like one and done type deal. Looks like less packaging does the trick. It's wild because the box actually has damage. You'd think this was for sure broken. I almost forgot about this tail light. Let's replace that really quick. Oh, I don't want to walk all the way to the front of the car to pop the hatch. Can't believe there's only supposed to be 4 nuts that hold on these taillights. Usually these taillights are very difficult to remove from the car because of the adhesive. This actually still has it. It's super sticky. This one looks dried out, so I'm sure that was just leaking water straight into my trunk. That's great. Does the middle panel have to come off to get the outside taillight off? This is another one of those areas we're not going to be seeing for a while. And this was really gunked up. It also looks like the previous owner used some window sealant of some sort. That is not going to seal your taillight. Well, this is fun. This is not going to come off my fingers, I already know. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Let's clean off the new taillight before we put it on. It's a little dirty and dusty. It actually looks like there's a dead spider in there. That's pretty wild. Or at least his coffin is a 300ZX taillight. Does anyone want this taillight? I have no use for it. It's free. Come get it. It is supposed to rain in the next few days, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get a quick street session or a parking lot session and see how this thing handles drifting in the rain. Because with a non-turbo K8, there's no way this thing's gonna be able to drift when it's dry out. And if today is July 8th, tomorrow is my birthday, which means today is my last day of being 27. Well, thank you guys so much for sticking around. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to see more, leave a comment. See you guys next time. Peace.